Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Six. Now call this budget hearing to order. Mr. Superintendent.
Hello, Mr. Chair, board members. Um, this is the second of two required hearings, public hearings on the FY23 budget. The first one was held last Friday, June 3rd at noon. And this one is, of course, is scheduled for today at 6 p.m. Uh, at this point, we don't see anyone who signed up, Ms. Johnson, for public hearings. Mr. Summers, do you see anybody online?
I'm online, Mr. Dyer.
Okay.
Robert.
I'm saying anybody. I know Mr. Youngblood, Miss Strother, Reverend Bush, and Miss Huntley are online. I don't see anybody else online that may have a desire to speak. Okay, all right. And so typically, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
we'll wait about 3 minutes,
Okay.
and if that's the will of the board, we can certainly do that this time, and give people an opportunity to get here if they're running late, and but that's up to the board.
3 minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Reverend Bush.
Yeah, Reverend.
I'm just want to ask if you allow me to, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Dye, is it possible for the IT people to help an old country boy get set up on a laptop for the meeting, and so he won't be too confused?
Yes, sir, that's absolutely possible. We'll try to get that organized as soon as possible. When would you like for them to come?
Well, Mr. Dye, I normally attend the meeting down in Savannah on, I think it's, the first one is, I don't know when it is, I'm sorry, but it's,
Okay.
I think it's Thursday, Mr. Dye.
Yes, sir. So we'll have them come by tomorrow. If that's okay, we'll have.
Yes.
Is it okay to give them your number to arrange a schedule?
I'm sorry, sir?
Is it okay to give them your number to arrange the time?
Yes, sir, whatever,
Yes, sir.
however, Mr. Dye.
We'll take care of that tomorrow.
Yes, sir, thank you so much.
Mr. Wright. You have some questions, sir? You want? All right, sir.
I, I attended a couple of meetings this week, and when I say we, I'm talking about the city, the county, the school board, and the American people here. Remember this time last year, we brought you a report from the Wall Street Journal that ranked us number 5 in the nation of cities that were going to shrink in population. That came true when the census came out. It validated that. It showed we had lost about 14,000 people. And at the commission meeting this morning, the people from the homeless coalition were there, and they were talking about the number of homeless kids that the school system had. So if you got 900 homeless kids, that means we probably got 1,800. I'm saying probably parents out there. And the, at the end of the day, Dr. Vance, the superintendent, the team and I, we met last night, and when we got that report today, all the people who are in the field of being labor economists, economists in general, are projecting that we're going to stay in this hole until 2032, constantly losing population, because we are not a destination, as most of you know. So people do not come here like they would go to Atlanta or New York or New Mexico, because it is a destination. Plus, if you look at all of the great cities in the world beyond the United States, they became great because of their transportation network, whether it was by water or some other mechanism. That means trade was occurring. We are losing people. When you lose 14,000 people, that's the equivalent of what we call a district in our redistricting process, and it makes almost 2 in the city. So unless, now this was from the people from, I think UGA, Terry College, they're saying we're going to be in this hole until 2032. Part of that has to do with the fact that we are too tertiary. That means that the city don't want to work with this county. We're fighting over sales tax revenue, how to handle that. I mean, I need more, and I need more. Well, if you're losing 14,000 people, how can you continue to need more? So when my team met, we decided that we're going to keep a lot of things by just having maybe a luncheon or something like that and tell you what our findings are and what our recommendations might be. See, our response is going to dictate where we stay in this hole for the next 10 years. One of the things is, for example, we looked at the capital project fund, about $30 million there. And you look at the special revenue fund, that's the RPA money, about $75 million there. Now, if all that money ends up at Tulane University in San Diego and New York, and my favorite is Cunny, C-U-N-Y, City University of New York. Because a lot of times when we need help, we have to contact the NYU School of Law, the Brennan Center of Justice, to tell us about various things that might work. So we're going to have to find a way to work around that. And what we're suggesting is you usually have a shortened schedule of meetings during the summer. One of the things that we considered is this: we're going to stop putting so many bad things in paper and discuss them at a luncheon and see what we come up with, rather than letting everybody get hold to the problem we have and just blow it out of proportion, because that's not going to help anybody. We've got to get out of this hole. Imagine another 10 years of losing population. See, now, if we look at just the capital project fund, $30 million. If $30 million turned over 3 times, you're approaching $100 million. How many jobs be created if we could keep 75% of it here? The special revenue, $80 million. If we could capture 40% of that and keep it here. See, people need jobs, and they're going to leave here. All this mess about we need a trail, and I'm just sorry. All the things that we put in place over the last 10 years, no matter who's in charge, the superintendent, something was wrong, or the timing was wrong, because if it was the value that we were led to believe, 14,000 people would not have left. So something is wrong if you say, well, we got this center, and we got the 4C Academy, and we having robotics center, and we having this. But why are people not staying here if that is important? Why are people not staying here if these trails going nowhere is important? something had to be wrong with our mix. Now, one of the things that I know is I attended some workshops, and we were bringing people here from Arizona to tell us about that river quagga. If you all get a river quagga, you're going to have so many people that you don't know what to do with. Trying to teach the same thing. See, you can be misled if you have questionable data in the first place, and if you not understand economics. See, I teach economics and accounting, so I understand that stuff a little bit. People can sell you anything if you're naive enough to believe it, but I'm telling you, unless we come together on some of these things, there's not going to be a whole lot of jobs here. Because if you lose 14,000 in that time period, we brought that report to you from the Wall Street Journal, that means on average we're going to be losing about 1,500 people a year if the trend is continued. So we'll be in a mess, and nobody's going to hardly have a job. So that's just something. We'll get back with you on your next meeting schedule, and what we plan to do is just tell you, not give you any handouts about that. We'll tell you what the data is, and I think the superintendent and Ms. Hatcher know what it is. Tell you, we'll just discuss it and see what we can do about it. Because if we do not reverse it, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is telling us that we're going to continue to lose. But yet, we're blowing money. Spending $1 billion every year. That's one thing I told the city commission this morning. The city of Atlanta general fund and their 2023 budget, I'm going to send you a copy. It's $700 million. Here we are, city of Atlanta, 700,000 people. Here we are, city of Albany, $325 million. Your budget is more than that for 70,000 people. So, we got to do something. So those are the kind of things that we're going to come to you, tell you where it is, and we will send you a report of that city of Atlanta, because the city of Atlanta Enterprise Fund has $1 billion. That's the airport. And when you got an aquarium they have and all these other amenities, you can see why people come there. But the only thing we have is the 2 or 3 amenities. And I go to these meetings, these people come here and say, well, some of the people who come and saying, we need money to do this. All these organizations saying, well, Museum of Art and they say, we need $5 million. Now, unless you're showing Jurassic Park, I don't see that. Jurassic Park for an exhibit, and then we're not keeping people here. So, now, who can I get back with a schedule about, the summer? I know you have a short meeting time, so we can discuss some of these things.
You can follow with my office, be fine.
Okay, because what we'll do is just, we want to look at a time where we can share findings and concerns and do that as much as possible rather than saying you all not doing nothing, blah, blah, because that's not going to help anybody. We'll continue to lose people. That thing was devastating. I got that. We'll be stuck here for 10 years. I'll close here, see if there are any questions. If not, I'm going to try to find one of the NBA playoff games. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
There's only one left, man. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yes. No one else? That's it. Check. Maybe. That's it. If there's no one else, we consider ourselves dismissed at this time. Thank you all for coming out.